streaming. First time ever on the live stream. This is great stuff. I don't have to do my full introduction, right? Because this is a stream, right, Kevin?
It's more. We're gonna be more loose with it because we're live streaming.
Welcome in, friends. Hey, come on in for a chat. It's like you're Kevin's dog right now. You just get to hang out in the back room. Just let me know when there's. Oh shit, dude! Nice 5 there. I guess
hey,
just
Murph,
let me know
football.
when. Go get the ball. Get the ball. Don't muff it. I like pokey.
She'll be back.
Go get the ball. I guess let me know when there's enough people in here, Adam, where I should introduce what we're actually going to talk about. This will just be our little chit chats. Repartee.
I think you can go ahead and introduce it. We'll save some of the harder hitting discussion for a minute from now.
Fair enough. Well, listen, guys, we were going to do our traditional film review. I'll be honest, with all the stuff going on in college football, it seems like it happened 85 years ago. This has been the best coaching carousel ever. I live for this type of stuff, especially when Florida State's not in it. It's so much less stressful. I don't have to track the flight numbers. I get to laugh at the people tracking the flight numbers. This is great. So we were actually literally having this discussion 20 minutes ago before we did the film review, and we just kind of chucked it. Just like Brian Kelly with a kid off a scissor lift. We just threw it into the ether, and we are going to just talk about what's going on in the world of college football, because we had a lot of – oh, wow.
Yeah, she's
Good
very
hands.
smart. She's smarter than I am.
Oh, I doubt that highly.
Carl Ramrod in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Cool. So we're just going to talk about everything coaching search related. We'll try to maybe tangentially point it back to FSU, but
there's so much going on.
It's Monday night, man, and my wife's not watching Dancing with the Stars, so I'm uncaged right now. You've got I'm here. There's nothing to divide my time. We're just going to talk about everything. You guys want to answer? Throw some questions in the chat. Go ahead. We'll answer them.
Ooh,
Adam.
I know AB was talking about the yak.
Yeah, I don't see the yak move happening. LSU already announced they're going to keep Kevin Falk. Well, they haven't announced it, but the recruits have been told Kevin Falk's staying. Trey and I were talking about it earlier. I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense for Kelly to kind of keep a lot of that staff around, seeing as he doesn't really have any Louisiana ties.
No. By his complexion, he has zero.
Yeah, Louisiana absolutely.
Ties.
Yeah,
Holy
he doesn't do
hell.
the whole bug eater thing very well. So.
When the first time this guy just bites into an exceptionally spicy etouffee, I hope there's a toilet close by. It's gonna be like somebody without a gallbladder. It's gonna be
hey, I don't have a gallbladder.
Exactly, and every poop you take is an emergency, just like
That's
Brian
not
Kelly's.
True.
I
that's
guarantee
fake
every
news.
poop.
Wait, does Brian Kelly not have a gallbladder?
I don't know.
No, but I'm saying that
breaking news: Brian Kelly.
The Cajun food will have the same effect. Just water poops.
Anyway, so I just don't see. Sorry, Casey. Yeah, I don't see Yak. I think you'll see Yak hang around, which is good. Which is good because that means you are likely to keep Destin Hill enrolling in January.
Right, we got a nice little Louisiana thing going on. Somebody did mention Yak if they moved him to the wide receivers, but. I feel like that's the same thing with Kevin Falk, right, Adam? That guy they have, Mickey Joseph.
It's kind of a guy that's been there for a while, and he's got ties to that area. I don't see the need to move on from him. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I guess we're going to find out. I mean, that's the guy you worry about the most is Alex Atkins, which I don't. He just got his extension, obviously, with Florida State. It's going to take a coordinator job to get him away from Florida State, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Does somebody throw that out there to him? Maybe. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I guess it's possible.
Not to LSU, but you're saying in general.
Yeah, in general.
If you had to be worried about a Florida State, not a guy maybe getting told to go on his merry way, getting reassigned, whatever. Like the guy who could get poached, you think the highest potential is an Alex Atkins?
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to worry about him, right? I mean, he's definitely the name of the staff, in my opinion. I guess somebody could throw a lot of money at Kenny. I don't think that's going to happen either. I don't know. I don't know how highly regarded he is out there in the coaching
I don't know, man.
community.
I had a guy on Reddit the other day that was arguing with me, telling me that Dilly is the sole reason that our offense isn't any good, and
Yeah, I'm
will
not sure
never
that
be
guy-
good.
Not sure that guy knows what they're talking about, but
He was very strongly insinuating that I had no idea what I was talking about, which is
well,
probably true.
direct him
but
to YouTube. No. Direct him to YouTube. And you obviously trained a very smart dog. So, I mean, you are clearly an intelligent man.
oh yeah, I mean that's how it works.
I mean, it could happen, dude, especially with this carousel where all the shit is just turning and turning. But I don't feel, there's been other years where I felt like more nervous. I don't really feel nervous right now for any rise. They seem like they're all one mission, had a little tiny taste of success this year. They're all bought in with Mike. They like Mike, you know. So I don't know. I don't feel worried about too many guys getting poached.
I think
No,
I've got
yeah,
wait. Go for
Go
it,
ahead.
Davey.
no, I do agree with Trey. I think the staff and Mike leading it has a vision for kind of seeing these things through, and I think they're gonna stick together and kind of do that. Now, obviously, somebody could come out of nowhere and blow you out of the water, but I don't think there's anybody on this staff that's necessarily in that ballpark yet.
I think I have a question I can answer that we've been asked. Will we know? Will we know when Hill enrolls? What prevents some random dude walk on campus and claim he is Hill? The second part is an easy answer. They know Hill. They've met the kid. They would very immediately know that it's not some random dude walking on campus that claims to be Destin Hill.
Breaking news: this coaching staff does know who Destin Hill is.
we're not gonna
they're
have,
aware of what the recruit they brought in looks like.
All right, here's an interesting question from Madison.
He's a real person, guys. We haven't just like, it's not some like
Manti Te'o girlfriend.
psychosis. Yeah,
I do expect him at Florida State in January, as long as Yak is at Florida State.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So Madison asks, "Do we give Mike an extension?" What do you guys think? What are your thoughts?
Now, okay.
I think
He hasn't earned an extension, but if you wanted to give him one to kind of zig, where like every right now you're talking about, and it's weird that it's happening now with like the era of like instability with the early signing period. It's like all the coaching changes that didn't happen in 2020. It's like there's a big pipe and it was just all backloaded, and they're all just like happening now.
Yeah.
So you could give them one, because then it allow like, oh, look at how stable we are. Stable, stability. We're like an 8-legged chair, like the most stable foundation in the entire world, right? So you could do it. I don't think he's earned one yet, but there were some guys in the Tomahawk Nation chat that, posed the idea, and it didn't sound crazy. So,
I mean, if he had a Sexton as his agent, he would be flirting with other teams right now trying to get that raise.
God, yeah, just drop a little line to Bruce Feldman or Adam Schefter or whoever those
wouldn't-
little like
So
rumor peddler guys are.
When's his contract up? Is it in 25 or 26?
It was a 5-year deal, wasn't it?
That's what I thought. I thought it was a 5-year deal. So he's in year 2 of a 5-year deal, which means there's 3 years left. I've been an advocate for throwing another 2 years at him. Sign him through 20. What would that be? 27 or 20 or 28 with a slight raise. I know that there's going to be some that are going to look at that record and they're going to laugh and say, "What the hell are you talking about?" But I do think that there's a lot to be said for showing support in college football these days that speaks loudly to prospects and to portal guys moving around. I think it sends a strong message. I think it would resonate in Florida, which right now Florida State's the kind of the benchmark for consistency in Florida.
Oh no, Manny Diaz has been there. He's still there. He hasn't gone anywhere. What do you mean?
Yeah, okay.
What the fuck is Miami doing?
Oh,
dude?
who knows?
They're shooting themselves in the foot, and it's glorious. My thing about all of this is that I think is kind of interesting is we've been preaching how Florida State is down because there's no continuity, early signing day transition classes, all of this stuff is
right,
making life hard. And it's kind of shown that across the country, teams do not generally do well after they make these coaching changes. And yet you see more coaching turnover this year than ever before. I think people are thinking they can buy themselves out of these recruiting holes now that the NIL is open and transfer portal is open, but I'm not so sure that's going to be the case.
Well, the time will tell, because this is a massive case study of if that's going to happen or not. I think as far as the Norvell extension, I think 3 years is enough to show stability. I mean, the other way would send a message, but dude, these past 3 days in college football have been nuts. 3 years is plenty of time. That's college football time is dog year time, right? Every second is 7 seconds. So I think 3 is enough, but I mean, if they extended them, I don't know if like I said, I don't think it's necessary right now, but I thought it was an interesting question. And when I first heard it, I was kind of but then I was like,
Did Lincoln Riley blow up college football?
Yeah, this has been
blew up my
hilarious.
timeline. Okay, so of course, we'll always try to funnel it back to Florida States, and all you cool cats in the chat, you lambast us when we don't. But what did we think? So Lincoln Riley was the first piece of shrimp etouffee in Brian Kelly's butthole. He blew everything up, right? So what did we think of the initial hire? I will go first on my thoughts on it. I love it. I thought
for USC?
For both. I love it for Lincoln Riley. I love it for, of course you love it for USC. That's a very big.
Oh yeah.
That's a very big flex your nuts move on the entire just show everybody no, we're still a blue blood.
Such a big name, stuff. I couldn't even imagine that it was going to happen.
No, and it did it, and he's such a lie. Lincoln Riley. I'd be so mad if I was an Oklahoma fan.
Aren't they all?
I'm not going to be head coach at LSU.
But I mean, at least they got Bob Stoops just hanging around at a moment's notice.
Oh God, I can't wait for Bob. I can't wait for Bob and Lincoln Riley to have the They Live parking lot fight with Roddy Piper and Keith David, because Bob wants to kill him, man. But no, I thought it was such a spectacular move on his part. Just once you see the deal where it came out, but he was already going recruiting heavy on the West Coast anyway. His players love him. He's got such a high, and he's done a lot at Oklahoma, but he's also built up the highest stature possible without winning a national championship.
Oh, big time.
That you could ever even think would be possible.
I mean,
so dude, throw that over to the West Coast. When USC is humming, they get everybody who they want in California. The Pac, 10 or there's still 12 teams in it? I don't know.
Yeah.
The Pac sucks. There's the guy who's going to coach Miami. That'll be announced soon. He's up at Oregon, so they'll be having some upheaval there.
Co-head coach with Manny Diaz.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple people who don't want to get vaccinated in Washington. There's but
you got Chip Kelly at UCLA, who's
he'll be fine.
They were all right this year.
Yeah, they're okay. But it's just for a guy like him, especially with the prospect of literally he's going to take his whole team and all of his recruits with him. So he gets all the benefit and the energy of the new coach bump without a lot of the BS and negativity that you see from the transition class downer. So he moved at the right time. And there are some cousins who are also married in the city of Norman, Oklahoma, that are just screaming at each other in their house. But my God, I thought it was a brilliant move. What'd you guys think?
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Kev.
I think Lincoln Riley learned 2 things from the Mad Pirate, and that's the first is how to coach an offense, how to coach an elite offense.
That's right.
And how to make some chaos happen, and that was glorious.
And business is the booming, brother. And that, of course, as a Lord Leach disciple, of course, Lincoln Riley made the right move. And if OU had any sense, they would actually hire Mike Leach. They don't, and they won't, but that's fine. Gotta have a fan base that's mentally strong to handle a powerhouse like Mike Leach. But Adam, what do you think of the move? I can tell you're visibly disgusted. Like anytime Kevin and I bring up air raid messiahs.
Yeah, sorry, I want to throw up over Mike Leach talk. But
just talk about that's enough. Out of
dog shit coaches being talked about as their gods.
Yeah,
I mean, Cliff Kingsbury was nobody. And
anyway,
now he's leading the number one offense in the NFL.
He's a troglodyte. Go ahead.
I thought, I mean, USC's a top 5, 6, 7 job, right? I mean, it seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Seems like a no-brainer. Like, you're going to go out there, you're going to have hella NIL to sell, Hollywood to
Yeah.
sell. You just got there's a lot more going for you at USC than there is at Norman, Oklahoma. In
I'm
my opinion.
honestly surprised they've been as good as they have for so long.
Who?
And they'll probably continue to be good. Oklahoma,
Oklahoma.
like, there's not really a huge recruiting base there. You have to take recruits out of California and Texas to be successful.
But they're a blue blood. That's what's crazy. It was
They're
a
blue
blue
blood.
blood to blue blood move. Like you'd never. We already talked about how rare it is to see P5 to P5. This is nuts. Like this is, and we had like another blue blood to blue blood right before we came on with the tomato face man going down to the swamp. This coaching carousel's been awesome, and it's just. And I wonder if there's any credence to like what Lincoln Riley says. He was handed a ready-made object, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bob Stoops had Oklahoma just pristine humming, and Lincoln Riley's done the same exact thing, kept them humming, winning Big 12s and stuff. But of course, we all noticed, we saw it with Jimbo Fisher. The really hard part of a college football program is maintenance, and it's the least fun part. Like the building, the climb, hashtag trademark copyright, hashtag Mike Norvell 2021, climb of the coaching search is awesome. And dude, when you can just mollywop the entire world of college football to like start your climb on like just strapped to a Tesla rocket, right? An Elon Musk rocket. I thought it was great. And dude, his contract is sick. It's like 110, 11 million a year.
Yeah, it looks like it, which pales in comparison to what Brian Kelly apparently is going to get.
We'll get to that. We'll get to the old tomato man, scissor lift king in a second here. But dude, 10, 11 mil a year, a $6 million house in LA. So that'll be a cool 2-bed, 1-bath, be a little tight for his family, but that was nice. They bought a $6 million house.
They paid 500,000 over asking price for the house in Oklahoma or some shit. You see that one?
That's right. That's how that extra $500,000. That's why they could get a 2-car garage for his LA house. So that's nice of them. Private jet access
24/7. What the hell?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They're paying dollar for a guy that takes transfer quarterbacks and turns them into Heismans.
Yeah, well, guess what? He's getting ready to take a 5-star transfer quarterback from Oklahoma and take him to USC.
Oh, Caleb or Rattler?
Caleb's
Yeah.
definitely. He's 100% going to. I mean, not 100%. I don't know, but I would assume he's going to USC. Malachi Nelson, which is a 5-star in 2023, is going to end up at USC now. Was committed to Oklahoma. You just got a 5-star running back that's committed to Oklahoma is going to end up out at USC. Like all those guys are just going to go from Oklahoma and they're going to follow Riley to USC, which is insanity to me.
And it does suck because normally Florida State is recruiting against some guys, that are tangentially tied to Oklahoma. And with any other time, I'd be like, awesome. You just like when the coaching transition happens, it's like you eliminate them from the list. Like you eliminate the school. Yeah. And I definitely think you can eliminate Oklahoma as the school. But now with all those like Florida State recruiting battles, I think we're just doing the switch swap. Now we're just battling Lincoln Riley at USC for like a Javante Barnes running back in Nevada. Yeah. And then also Kevin Coleman. I don't see Marvin Jones Jr. was heavily linked with Oklahoma, but I don't see him going out to I ain't a part of that, Marvin. It's not that nice out there. You don't want to be part of that nonsense. But yeah, it's like I said. So it's such a crazy move that you're not seeing, at least right now. I mean, we'll see. They still got to put ink to paper, but you're not seeing all the traditional downsides that new coaches, all that BS that they got to deal with going to a new school. So it's
those guys all obviously have to end up at Oklahoma. But I mean, if Williams doesn't go out there, they've got Slovis, they've got the Dart kid, also Jackson Dart out at USC. Yeah. I mean, they've got some talented quarterbacks out there already.
They always have talented quarterbacks.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at Oklahoma. Like, what could they be left with? Jaden Hazelwood enters the portal. They just lost a bunch of 2023 commitments, a bunch of 2022 commitments.
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler's
what are they going to do without Rattler?
Williams could end up in the portal. I think they had an offensive lineman enter the portal. Like
Theo Weiss, the wide receiver, enter the portal.
Yep. There's rumors that Mario Williams, which I think was the number 1 wide receiver last year, may enter the portal. Like they might be up a creek here if they don't get this kind of figured out really fast.
Yeah, Leonard really did him dirty.
Yeah, he really did.
You guys, I know all those players we listed are loyal triple option listeners. Come here. Just Rick James meme. You can even see I've got like a little halo of light. Just come on. Come to Tallahassee.
All right, let's
you right.
Let's talk about what's probably more directly related, and it's who will potentially replace
dude.
Riley at Oklahoma.
Skeletor, guy whose skin is too tight for his face.
Yeah, I mean, it seems
like a baby coming out of a JJ. Just I've never seen anybody. He's got a crank on the back of his head, and I feel like he turns it every year. And his skin, he's just got a snare drum for a face. It's unreal.
It does seem like that's happening, right?
Bro, one of these days, his cheekbone is going to just burst out of his skin during the middle of a press conference. It's out of control.
Well, my greatest question is he going to take the guy with him that holds him back, the sideline guy? Is that guy going to follow him to
He
Oklahoma?
probably sleeps with him at night just to hold him back.
Maybe that's how his skin gets so tight. He's not holding the shirt. He's actually holding. He's got like a handle of back skin, and that's how he like keeps his like face perpetually like taut, like the Roach Man from Men in Black, just like Brent Venables. Yeah, I
don't think we've said his name. It's Brent Venables. Is who we're talking about.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I waited a little bit long to get there. Yeah, we're talking about Brent Venables, and it looks like the reports, the sour says.
AB's been sold on Venables to OU since the beginning. So,
well, dude, I made a joke of it because I'm trying to do like the old Deepak Chopra, like manifest the things I want into the world out there. But I think it is going to happen too.
Yeah, it seems like it.
It fits OU's profile though, right?
Bring back
Bob
a guy
Stoops. Well, no, Bob Stoops. I don't think he had any ties to Oklahoma. He was a Hayden Fry guy, coached at Kansas State and UF before he did Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley was at Oklahoma. But what I'm saying is they were both successful coordinators. Bob Stoops wasn't a head coach. He was a DC. I think he was DC at Florida, an assistant head coach. Went to OU. I think his first hire was Mike Leach, his offensive coordinator. So obviously Bob Stoops, Hall of Fame coach. That makes a lot of sense. And then Lincoln Riley was also not a head coach, elevated internal hire. So Oklahoma, they're open for being such a big blue blood name. They're okay with giving that coordinator the shot and elevating them to the role and putting the whole institutional weight of the chuck wagon people behind him.
What's interesting to me about it is that Venables is a defensive guy, and the old common knowledge is that defensive guys tend to be less successful in head coaching roles than offensive guys. I mean, if you ignore Nicholas Saban in Alabama,
Kirby Smart, yeah,
or Kirby Smart, I think that narrative's starting to flip. So it'll be interesting.
Well, and I guess the rumor is that he's the Jeff Lebby from Ole Miss will be his top target as offensive coordinator. Which, if Venables, look,
that's a stick combo.
It's kind of interesting to me because this is a guy whose name's been thrown around a ton over recent years for potentially. I mean, he was thrown around at Florida State as a name potentially to come be head coach when they hired Mike Norvell, but he never seemed to really be pursuing jobs. Now suddenly, I thought things ended poorly with him at Oklahoma. Maybe I'm just not remembering that correctly, but I don't know. I find this hire to be interesting. It kind of seemed like he was going to be a lifer with Dabo, and now all of a sudden, maybe this is just an opportunity that's
break
too good
him up. Let that goofy dork in South Carolina finally drown. I can't.
Yeah, I agree.
He's been keeping him afloat for years.
He was not supposed to keep a top 5 coordinator. Nobody keeps top 5 coordinators that long.
No.
Nobody. Not in the modern age. So it's been.
He got pretty
glad.
lucky with Venables.
I've been anti-Dabo for a long time. Put the microphone in front of Dabo's face as much as I want. Let him say some weird, folksy, dumb stuff that makes no sense when actually like analyzed by people. Take away his coordinators and just throw him out of the nest and say, "Fly, baby bird," and I hope you fall.
Chat's mentioning that Tony Elliott's name's also being thrown around for some potential jobs.
Let's
if anybody hires Tony Elliott, I'm sorry, you're
not a fan of Tony Elliott?
How dumb do you have to be to hire Tony Elliott? Has anybody made a more underachieving offense with as much talent as he had at his disposal this year?
Oh boy, here come the hot takes.
That's not a hot take. They frickin' suck.
They did. They did. They're also breaking in a new quarterback. Come
I
on,
don't
man.
care if you're freaking Clemson, man.
Come on. They had a bunch of line injuries.
Yeah, I don't care.
I think you're underselling.
I think Tony Elliott
ability.
hasn't been good for a while. I think you need to win 3 national championships with Trevor Lawrence, and you don't.
Wow.
Well, there was the talk of when Trevor
I
Lawrence
think he's
came
not a
to
good
the
coordinator.
league,
He might be a good head coach.
There was some of the shade, as the children like to say, thrown upon Trevor Lawrence because he played in like a Mickey Mouse offense. Like that was things that like NFL evaluators said. Now it was always who was the guy? Was it Jeff Scott or was it Tony Elliott? Who was like the brains? And maybe neither of them were really the brains. They just go recruit your dick off and just like throw them out there and throw it to your like alien wide receivers and you'll be okay, and hand it off to Travis Etienne. So we'll see. I mean, Tony Elliott, he deserves a shot for sure. Kevin,
yeah,
I will.
If a P5 team gives this guy a shot,
I'll defer to you because what's up, Murphski? What's up, Pupper?
No, Tony Elliott doesn't put any emotions in his offense. It's very bland. Has few formations and few plays. It's a very vanilla offense. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think DJ's any good, but
you don't see it scaling down. Like, let's say if you don't have the talent,
I think he could probably
scale down.
I think he could be an okay head coach. It's a totally different skill set. But if you told me that we're getting him as our offensive coordinator, I'd be disappointed.
Interesting, but there are the chat, our little chat peeps. They are saying that. Oh man, just I take them both away.
His name's been thrown around for Virginia Tech, I think. All right, so I'm reading through chat here. Let's hit a couple chat questions, then we can kind of get back into the conversation.
Hit me, rapid fire.
There's who takes over ND? If you got a top 3, Coach Ray, top 3 Notre Dame.
My personal top 3, I'd go Luke Fickell, I would go Matt Campbell, and then I don't even know who I'd do as the third. I'd say you just because you have your choice of like those it's the Midwest guys that have been waiting for that gig. I think in Notre Dame's top 3, it's going to be Marcus Freeman, and I don't know if I would. I want to avoid like a Jimmy Lake situation there, like what happened at Washington. Like that's a very risky, high reward, high risk hire. But I would just, I'd put Luke Fickell in there and just get another Cincinnati head coach like you got Brian Kelly and win 10 games a year for the next decade. Like I think Luke Fickell's an easy choice for me.
All right, Kev.
Yeah, he's got a winning record against Luke Fickell.
Thoughts on Rich Rod to Jacksonville State?
Rich Rod to Jacksonville State. That's dangerous, man. Watch out. Rich Rod. He was supposed to be the next Alabama quarterback head coach back in the day.
Yeah.
Now look at him.
I was stunned when I heard his name. I didn't even know he was still in college football. I knew
he's there.
He was OCing. Where was he OCing at? He was OCing somewhere.
I don't know.
I'm
surprised Mike Bobo had a job until today.
I was shocked
because he's been garbage for a long time.
Yeah.
The game may have passed him by. I don't know, but I will always just thank you, Rich Rodriguez, for the Pat White, Steve Slayton offenses of the mid 2000s era. My favorite to both watch and play. My favorite non-Florida State team to play with in video game history.
Rick Trickett deserved all the credit for that, by the way.
Okay, what's up, Ricky T? No issues there.
Bug Zapper, think we stand a decent chance to beat LSU and Clemson next year with all these changes?
I think they both have a lot of talent on those rosters.
It's funny because we were close against Clemson this year. I think Clemson's going to be better next year than they were this year. Even
if they get rid of Tony Elliott, they probably will be.
I think they'll be better from a roster standpoint next year. We'll see what kind of coordinator. I mean, Dabo's got to make a coordinator hire. Like, oh shucks, the old Clemson got to go back on the old assistant coordinator hire trail. I'm a dork. So we'll see. I think you got a better chance to beat LSU. I mean, shit, dude. I mean, maybe Mike's just kind of got Brian Kelly's number, man. We get to play same guy at the opener. It's in New Orleans though, so that sucks. I would say you got an okay chance to beat both. You're going to be an underdog in both, but I think that you got a better chance to beat LSU week 1 than you do Clemson whenever we play them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Clemson's at home. I think that you can.
Oh yes, you got neutral versus home.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell to make of Clemson. Let's see who leaves Clemson first.
Yeah.
I want to see what it really feels like things are falling apart there. Let's just see if that continues.
Well,
And
let's
then,
see who leaves LSU too. Like you're
yeah,
gonna get
it's
that
true.
nice warm Brian Kelly like axe murderer handshake, and those kids are gonna be like, dude, I'm
Don't forget
okay.
he
I'm
did
good on
threaten
this.
to murder his entire football team.
Oh yeah, like
FSU this year.
And then they
yeah,
won almost all the games
ISIS
after that.
Brian, yeah, that was great, dude. That was fun. I'm in
All right.
favor of executing them all.
Also,
Yeah, so we'll see who leaves LSU after meeting that pleasant gentleman.
Austin Larkin asked, have y'all heard anything about Rice getting another year? I know that Norvell addressed that, I think 2 weeks ago. They're going to have the conversation about getting a waiver for him for an extra year. It's got to be something he wants, obviously. He's got to want to stay around. Got to think there'd be some interest on his part. I don't think he's a NFL prospect at this point. He would need more tape.
There's interest in my part, man, because I don't
yeah,
know if
he'd fill a hole.
If you had a if he'd fill a hole. If he had a if you had a fully healthy Emmett Rice this year next to like Kalen DeLoach, man, our linebackers could have got a lot better a lot quicker, because that first half of the season we were just playing with a big chasm right in the middle of our defense. It got short up, but man, I would be totally in for Emmett Rice. You still got to get JUCO linebackers. You still got to get transfer linebackers. I'd like to limit DJ Lundy's on-field playing time as much as possible. He's still a very good 2-down linebacker, but I mean, you saw plenty of times even against Florida where we had to have him out at their 3rd down, and he's better in coverage with his head's turned right and just hoping that the ball dinks off the back of his head. It's not his fault. It's just not the type of athlete he is. So we get him at Rice back and still load up in the portal and JUCO for linebackers. It's depth is still an issue there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would love to see them. I would like to. Yeah, Josh Martin just said Lundy to Fox. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that move. I think I don't know what his wingspan is. That would be an important part to that. If he's got that length that he can. What the hell you signed into? We can see your password.
What are you doing, bro? Get your little Pornhub off there. Your little like chemist porn or whatever you watch. Like
I'm trying to pull up SP Plus ratings, but I keep hitting hotkeys.
I'm not sure if Lundy has the length to play that position. If he does, that would be pretty big in my opinion. I think he could excel there with his wrestling background, learning how to play with leverage, or understanding leverage and that kind of stuff. That's a move I've kind of been arguing for since he got here. Let's see if it happens.
He improved too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He just can't run. I mean, just the kids.
He improved. He's not a complete liability if you have there kind of like obvious like running downs and stuff. But linebacker's not where it needs to be, and I think you'll be able to tell that they feel similarly with their actions in the next couple of weeks and months.
Yeah, I think we're going to hear. I think we'll hear some stuff on Emmett as you get into spring. We'll see. I sure as hell hope so. That'd be an amazing recruiting win if they did get him back. Somebody asked about Fabian Lovett. I think it was Bug Zapper. Yeah, I mean, they need to take care of his kid. They need to do whatever it takes to make sure he feels comfortable coming back for another year. I don't know if there's a ton of benefit. I don't know how much his stock's going to improve coming back for another season, but I'll tell you right now, they could use him and Dennis Briggs on the inside together next year and not have to replace your entire defensive line.
I don't expect Fabian Lovett back, but I mean, I've been making fun of old Wuhan Dabo as much as I absolutely can, and will never stop doing so. But if we could take a couple pages from his book on how to like keep current players happy, we need to do that. And just if we can keep them away from the draft for just one more year, let's do it. Is Robert Cooper leaving?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's gonna declare. I heard Amari Gainer might declare. We'll see if that comes true or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're going to see some guys leave, especially off the defense. Especially some of the older guys that have been around for a while. I mean, look, at some point they're just tired of playing football or tired of college football. And they want to try something different, right?
Yeah, that's fine. And
Yeah, I'm not gonna
The
hate on
biggest
them if
hits
they
are
do
your
that.
defensive ends. I don't really like losing love it. I mean, Kier and Jermaine are gone. Looks like I wonder if Jamie Robinson's going to leave or not.
Does he have more eligibility?
I think so,
Yeah,
right?
he's only a redshirt sophomore. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
James.
got
It seems like he's certainly throwing a lot of cryptic nonsense out there about leaving, but
yeah,
we'll see.
cryptic
So,
tweet
so
season.
to the
Yeah.
person that said, what has Dillingham and Norvell done that Tony Elliott, like how can I criticize Tony Elliott when we've got Norvell and Dillingham? According to SP Plus, FSU has the 50th ranked offense compared to Clemson with the 48th. So with significantly less talent, they had the same quality of offense. So that's
No
what they've done.
offensive line. One tight end who can block, one who can catch, kinda. So you've got two halves of a tight end and a Preston Daniel.
A 3-star quarterback in Jordan
wide
Travis versus a
receivers
5-star
who are
quarterback in
allergic to
DJ.
contact. Are those offensive numbers for real? Like
I think Kev's a
they're
hater.
really right there. In
According to SP Plus, they are 48 and 50. So Clemson's got the slight edge, but you got a host of 5 stars versus a host of 3 stars out there. So
yeah, and I think that kind of I get what the guy's saying as far as like pedigree and resume and things like that, but
he was co-offensive coordinator.
He's a co-offensive
for their
coordinator forever,
quality
right?
years.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he loses a generational talent, he.
I don't think you were trying to dunk on Lincoln Riley or anything like that. Like it doesn't. It's so far the
Lincoln Riley is an excellent offensive coordinator.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying it's not. You're not doing that. It's like you're dunking on a guy whose offense looks like who's been criticized by smarter people than me and us as like sandbox playground shit.
But
so
it's a big win if they lose Venables. Huge win.
Trey, we've got a celebrity in the chat. Somebody that apparently Emery Bullock from Merritt Island.
Yeah, Brevard County guy.
Yeah, he wants
3-2-1. Hey, dude.
He's wanting a shout out from you.
Well, good. He gets it. Emery's he's a good guy.
All
good
right,
wrestler, so he's got good moral fiber from Merritt Island. It's not quite Cocoa Beach, but we used to hang out back in the day. I got a lot of love for Merritt Island people. He's a good man. Thank you, Emery.
There you go. There's a shout out.
Yeah,
all right, so let's bring this back into the coaching insanity. We haven't talked about Florida yet.
Yeah, let's talk about Florida.
I mean, our bitter rival. We apologize to those that showed up hoping for the film review. We just couldn't do it. I'm sorry. There's game,
so much going on.
That game absolutely blew. There's so much going on in the college football world. I couldn't do it. So, Kev.
It also felt like it happened 100 days ago. Dude.
Yeah, it does.
Like it was over. We muffed the punt and we lost in the third quarter. They fought back because they always fought back, and we were smaller and slower. So there you go. There's your review.
Kev's got a lot of love.
Keep chopping on.
Kev's got a lot of love for G5.
G5 Napier.
G5 Billy.
Yeah, they criticized us so hard for the AAC, and then they go get a Sunbelt guy. No, but he was an offensive coordinator, or he was an offensive coach for Clemson and Alabama.
Well, interesting. They go
wrong tight end coach.
There's always
our tight end coach, for like a month.
There's always the thing of like do the opposite of what you did before. I mean, it's still offense to offense from Mullen to Napier, but Mullen couldn't be bothered with the recruiting by all accounts. Steve Wiltfong from 247 Sports. Sorry, I butchered your name there. I had like a mild stroke as I tried to say it. Steve Wiltfong from 247 Sports had a lot of high praise on his recruiting, high energy guy. Mullen was a coordinator. Napier's never been a coordinator. I think he was only really a wide receivers coach. Mullen he's cut his teeth in the SEC. Billy cut his teeth against like Arkansas State and like North Texas and all that stuff, but he's been a very successful guy.
Yes.
It's one of those things where, Mullen's wife liked to like just suck all the players' face before the game. I'm hoping Mrs. Napier is a bit more demure, a bit more restrained, but I guess we'll see during the Gator Walk.
Anybody's guess?
That'll be fun to see. We'll take your prop bets now. But it'll be interesting to see. I don't know that I hate it or I love it because I'm not going to feign having knowledge of a guy that I don't have. It's ignorance. It's kind of like when I started off with Mike Norvell when he was tied with Florida State. I didn't watch a lot of Memphis. I mean, I've seen Hustle and Flow like 5 or 6 times, so I understand the culture, but I did not watch a lot of Memphis football. And then as I dug in, I talked to people smarter than me, I looked at the film, I became more and more excited about the hire. And I think that's the stage that Florida fans are in right now.
Yeah.
I don't think that Billy Napier is as proven as Mike Norvell was. The G5 that he is a lower tier conference, and I think the results that both teams have had, while maybe similar like record wise, if you look at like the quality of play of those like Memphis from like an S&P plus, and especially the quality of the offense, I don't think they compare. I don't think they're far off. Like
Louisiana got up to top 30 last year, and probably their best year under Napier.
That's impressive. So I don't like people crapping on it. But I'm also not, I'm not convinced that it's the next like Urban Meyer coming from like, Bowling Green or Utah or whatever.
So here's the thing. If you want to be Urban Meyer or Nick Saban, what makes those two guys special is that they're special recruiters and special football minds. Those very rarely come about, right? If you look at Urban Meyer, what he did was revolutionize the spread offense. We probably wouldn't know what a read option was if it wasn't for Urban Meyer. Nick Saban revolutionized man-match coverages. We probably wouldn't know what those are, and those wouldn't be seen in almost every Super Bowl for the past 5 years if it wasn't for Nick Saban. And they were special recruiters. I think Napier has a chance of being a special recruiter, but he is not a special football mind based off what I've heard.
He'd have to be more like a Dabo, right? He'd have to be like a tremendous organizer, good CEO, and just tie yourself to a defensive coordinator that must have some the bodies buried.
Defensive
like
and offensive
South
coordinator.
Carolina. Yeah, that would just tie you together. So I just think that the
Dabo mold is not an easy one to copy, and not one that I would want to pursue again.
No, definitely not at Florida.
And we talked about that because the patience of and Dabo was on his last legs before things started to take off for him. The Florida job is just, it grinds people up into dust. I don't think that they have the stomach for the rebuild that may be required under like a Billy Napier. Like Florida this year, from watching them play Florida State, they had a better offense. They had a better roster than their record indicated. They had some really, like the Damian Pierce kid, Gervon Dexter, Brenton Cox, like they had some good players. And they just gave up on Mullen like halfway through the season. Like that was not a 6-win team that they had. A lot of that age is going out. So Florida may be in for another 6-win season. Maybe not. I don't know. But they'll get a lot more positive movement in recruiting that they haven't seen. Will that be enough to satiate the fan base? I don't know. It seems like a fan base that
he seems like a quality recruiter. Can he compete with Kirby, Nick Saban, and Jimbo Fisher for the top 3 to 5 spots? He has to if he wants to win, because he's not going to out X's and O's them like Mullen could potentially do.
Yeah.
Right, and he did, and he showed to do it at Mississippi State and everything like that. So it is interesting. My biggest concern when we hired Mike Norvell was the recruiting. I didn't know that it could really scale up. Sometimes it's hard to see how that'll scale up when you start like playing with the big boys in the Southeast. But it did. I think Mike Norvell has actually turned out to be a very good recruiter, and he's got a good recruiting staff, as evidenced by this year. They say Napier's of the same mold, very organized. We'll see what his network is like. I don't know how many guys he had to replace at Louisiana. Mike had a lot of carousel, and he made good hire after good hire after good hire, and a good network. They say Napier's network is good. We'll see with this first staff. I'll say that the guys that he's targeting for his defensive coordinator look really promising. So
yeah, that OSU guy.
Knowles,
who's in line to win some awards this year. Someone said something about the G5 playoffs. Napier's still in the Bug Zapper. Come on, man.
I think it's a Sun Belt Conference Championship, right?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a G5 playoff. You're thinking of FCS, Football Championship Series. So,
dude, late on a Monday night, it's just whatever,
that's a different. That's lower. Think lower.
Yeah, but so I guess in summation, I think it's a fine hire. Florida has been they've made some weird hires. Like the McElwain hire was weird. The Mullen hire wasn't weird, like fit, but it also, there always felt like there was a hard ceiling on it. Mm-hmm. I don't know, dude. It's just the job itself is unique. So even if like Napier could be successful in like a different environment, the mechanics of the Florida job, dude, they just grind you down. So hopefully we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what the crow's feet look like 3 or 4 years from now. Because Dan Mullen looked like he'd had a presidential term. The way that weirdo hunchback aged.
Have you been to a game in Gainesville?
Yes, I have a lot of family living in Gainesville.
Yeah, I went to my first swamp game this weekend, and
what did you think?
I grew up going to Georgia Tech games, and
different environment than that.
Somehow Florida fans were lamer than Georgia Tech fans. It was amazing. Like, I got to hear Neil Diamond's greatest hits played by a marching band over the course of 4 hours. It was amazing. I think they played You Are My Sunshine before the team ran in. It was something. I don't know how you can convince 18-year-old kids to go to that school, but good luck, Napier. I think they need the extra money, the SEC money. Say,
anybody who's not blood related to me, I can agree with you. All my blood relatives, the epitome of coolest people in the entire world. So yeah, so I got to see because he's an organizer, CEO type, his staff is going to be so just consequential to his success. So I can't grade the hire yet. Right now, I'd say it's okay. It's just a lot of variance in it. What do you think, Adam?
No, I agree with you. I think it's going to depend on who the hell he hires. I said it kind of before we got started on all this. You just don't know with these guys moving up this level, especially up to a school like Florida. We really didn't know with Mike coming up. There were things we liked, but you just aren't going to know until they get in there and get going. Like, it's just a crapshoot, and we'll see. I hope that didn't mean to be. What the hell is going on in the chat there? We'll see.
I gave Bugs a hard time for saying G5 playoffs.
I think that I think Napier's going to be a little stubborn. He kind of wants to have some control over that offense, and I'm curious to see if that hinders them at all.
So you want to talk? Do you want to do questions? Because we're about to, let's say, wrap 10 minutes of this thing. Maybe do some questions. I feel like I don't know if we've officially talked about Brian Kelly. I've just made jokes about him the entire time because I don't like him as a human being.
Yeah, we'll get his first game as a coach, won't we? As a LSU coach, as a Cajun.
Do we play them first, or do we play Duquesne first? I thought we played Duquesne first.
Oh, do we?
Yeah,
that's kind of odd.
Either way, no, we do play. We are LSU's first actual game, so
we're their first game.
Yes, I believe that's correct.
And someone asked about.
Yeah, let's see the chat. Let's not ignore.
We talked enough about Brian.
Fellow chatters.
Yeah, someone asked about. I think they got his offensive coordinator mixed up. They asked about
So it seems that we talked about the wide receiver coach at LSU. He might be a candidate to go to Nebraska, where he played his college football days. So we'll see if that ends up happening. If that ends up happening, it could open up a spot for Brian Kelly to pursue Coach Yak.
You don't want to go to that guy. You don't go to that guy, Yak.
No, we'll see. There obviously aren't any connections between Kelly and Yak, so we'll see what happens there.
Just the state of Louisiana.
Yeah. Do you guys think we need to replace Dugans? Quick round the horn. What are your thoughts? Dugans stay or go?
I wouldn't keep him unless he's in it with some recruits that are very important. I don't know currently off the top of my head who he's involved with, but I have not been terribly impressed with the wide receiver play since he's been on campus.
Agreed.
I'd go. Yeah, I'd say go.
Yeah, he doesn't have. He doesn't. So sorry, Trey. Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say. I mean, it's weird. You got the alumni factor and all the good stuff he did at the school. Like, I'm not pounding the table for him to go. But if he went, I wouldn't. I think it's probably a better move. I think he could upgrade there.
Right, I agree. He doesn't currently have a contract. He and Odell, I do not believe they have contracts at this point. So we'll see if those come together. I think the last day of their contracts expire December 31st. So we'll see in January.
If Napier can get in Herman, I'll be concerned, to be honest with you.
Oh, is his OC?
Yeah. That's what someone just said in the chat. That would be a concern for me. I think Herman's a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah, are there enough?
I think Herman wants to be a head coach, not to be a coordinator.
Yeah, I don't think he would be able to pull Herman, but if he is able to,
but he's an
I'm hoping he strikes
terrible
out.
human being. How
Right,
long
yeah.
could Tom?
But Florida doesn't really care about that.
You know, Gainesville's, and my family's from there, but Gainesville's boring enough to where it's not like dropping Tom Herman in the middle of Miami, where it's just it's like going crazy all the time. Like I think Tom Herman's terrible, but he could last in Gainesville. So yeah, he could do some damage.
All right, so we had a question on Marv. If Marv only lands in Mark Graham, do you move on from him?
Absolutely, 100%, dude.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think he did some great things with Kalen DeLoach, but dude, you gotta hit it, and you've known it all year.
I think Chris Marv's back at Vanderbilt next year, personally.
I mean, you can look at DeLoach and say he's a success story, but you can also look at Lundy and Gaynor and say they didn't take nearly the strides you needed them to take. So
yeah, and I mean, Marv didn't recruit DeLoach either, so you don't even get like that recruiting win under your belt. So yeah, I'd be fine. I'd be fine with that. And you've got, I don't know if Randy Shannon wants to be the LB's coach, but you can recruit up. Well, what's going on? I like what you
got a very personal question.
Elijah Greenberg.
Who?
Should I do?
No, Trey did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can't see the chat.
No,
so
we already.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
we already did. Oh, Trey, I just went to the bathroom and my pee is clear. Thoughts? That's from Andrew. That's from Andrew Rawlings.
Oh, Andrew, another friend of mine. That means you're hydrated. It means you're a team player. You're a new dad now, so you got to be hydrated. You got to keep the fluids up to take care of the screaming kid at night. That just means you're a great dad. And
you've moved on from the Taggart administration.
That's overrated. Listen, Andrew, if you are a new dad, let your wife get up. Okay, it's our job. I'm just kidding. As the person who got
advice.
As a person with two kids and one most recently a year and a half ago who didn't sleep at all, I was up the entire night. Yeah, hydrate.
Wait, how do you guys feel about Papuchas?
Andrew, keep them. I mean, maybe either. I don't know about having a dedicated special teams coach. I know Norvell did that at Memphis. Mm-hmm. I don't know about that, but maybe one of the new guys you bring on has a better acumen for special teams, or maybe our special teams just suck because our roster sucks. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's got a bigger part to do with it.
Yeah, our special teams are real. Well, I mean, I've drunkenly kicked over parking cones in college with better accuracy than Parker Growthhouse at Gainesville, dude. That was garbage. So I don't know, but special teams, that's really Jimmy and Joe's to me. I don't know if we need a dedicated coach like some people are calling for, but he does such a good job with the DNs and he can recruit. That Papuchas has been a nice surprise for me based on when he was hired, for sure.
All right, Elijah Greenberg, should FSU look for a new defensive coordinator? No. Next.
Yeah, that's I don't think you're on the right channel to get the answer you're probably looking for on that question.
Yeah. How did Gaynor win all ACC honors? This is from Casey Carousel. I hope I'm saying that name right. I guess this was PFF. He got like second team or something like that on PFF. Because PFF is
because he's out of gap enough to steal everybody else's tackles. So he gets all the tackles and no one else gets any.
Because
he's
PFF,
physically talented.
Yeah, he is, and he runs okay.
I'm sorry.
He would not be on my ACC list.
If you look at tackle numbers, he looks better than he does on film.
The defensive coordinator thing, I would preach from what I saw from the second half of the year for continuity. I mean, I don't think he's done such a great job to where it's locked up. If you could get like a dynamo, you would have to get such a great hire to justify not being the continuity people. Like you would have to hire your balls off, I think. But I just want to bring some nuance there. I don't think that Adam Fuller did like an amazing job. I think he actually did a pretty good job this year, but not like a super amazing job.
Yep. I think you can improve. I don't think you're going to improve though. So
you got a top 50 defense after having a top 80, top 90 defense last year. So
champ for DC, that ain't happening.
It's a tough market right now with all these new coaches going to these big money places to be looking for a DC too.
Yep.
Just saying.
I think defense has a chance of improving if offense and special teams improve.
I don't, because I think you're losing your entire defensive line, and that's going to be a bitch to replace.
I think the advanced metrics don't. I think all the metrics look down upon our defense and a big reason is because they got put into bad field position pretty frequently.
Sure. Look at the Florida game. George Norfleet, Notre Dame's EC available. No, I personally think he's going to be the next head coach at Notre Dame. So.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman's an up and coming star. He's
I think they're going to give that job to Freeman.
And he should probably not keep Tommy Rees. But who am I?
Who are you to say anything?
Will Norvell be able to run his full playbook with Travis at quarterback? No, he will not.
No, and he has not.
But that doesn't mean that.
Doesn't mean he won't run enough of it to be successful.
Right. I mean, I don't know, dude. If you would ask me preseason if like Jordan Travis is your starting quarterback in 2022, I'd be panicking. I'm of the opinion, unless you can go out and there is a lot of turmoil right now. I mean, we need another quarterback anyway, so it's just on who you can get. If you can get a target that beats out Jordan Travis in spring and needs a starting quarterback, so be it. I don't know. I'm not confident they're going to be able to do that with how he's improved. I mean, lost at Florida, banged up, 200 yards passing, 100 rushing. Many a big play where it was all just Jordan Travis, like evading boundary pressure, evading an Ole block from his tackle. It's our offense, our team this whole year was basically Jordan Travis and Jermaine Johnson.
Yep. Right.
I mean, if you want to boil it down, I think you can win with them. I think you can win 7 or 8 next year with Jordan Travis as the centerpiece of your offense. But doesn't mean you shouldn't try and go get better. It's not a good team. You should try and get better at every position. But
for me, sign December 15th or whatever it is, sign AJ Duffy, then go find me a portal quarterback. And it doesn't have to be a starter. Just find me somebody that can be depth in that room and give some competition.
The way I feel about it is there's a finite amount of time and a finite amount of resources. If you're going to be putting resources into getting specific portal people, I would rather those resources go to defensive line and linebacker and offensive line.
Got a lot of holes on the rest of the team.
And so like
many spots. We do need a quarterback though, Kevin. We
do. But like, should we spend all of our resources and all of our time trying to bring in a really, really good quarterback when we have so many holes everywhere else? I don't think that's a wise investment.
Got to throw money at some fat boys. I'm with you on that.
All right, let's rapid fire this so we can get out of here. We got like 2 minutes. I think AJ Duffy should start over Travis. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he would have to come a long way in a short amount of time.
Try to find. Do you think we poached Gibbs, the Georgia Tech running back who just entered the portal?
No, we haven't been associated with him. He's good though.
He's going to Alabama.
Yeah, running back again is not a hole that you're terribly concerned with trying to put all your resources into filling.
Norvell has got to find someone. Please hire away. Who would our transfer quarterback targets be? I think maybe the kid who's leaving.
How do you even know yet, dude? There's so many people that are coming every second. The transfer portal is just barfing more kids into it.
I'll throw a couple names out there. I could see the kid who just left, who's leaving Ohio State, Jack Miller. He and Kenny have ties. He's
from Chaparral, Arizona. Yeah.
Jake Garcia, if he decides to leave Miami, could potentially be a target. He and Kenny have ties. Those are 2 names I would maybe look at. Chances at Marvin Jones Jr. right now. I think right now he's going to Alabama, personally.
I'm going to go with Florida State, 51-49. I feel good about it. But, dude, it's 50-50 right now. They had to be good enough to, like, have the feel. Like, you can pitch the program rebuilding and, like – I know they didn't pitch him that he's his dad's kids, continue the legacy, but they've done such a good job with him. I mean, as for a business decision, Kev was even talking about before we were recording. It's like, he's got a legit offer from Alabama. Why don't you just go to Alabama? I think they've done good enough to job pitching some of the other soft factors that I think Florida State's got a slight edge. I think that they're going to get them.
All right. Putting in Gainer regressed under this staff, but if you know talent, go watch his first 2 seasons he played. He was one of the best players in the ACC.
He's got all the physical talent in the world. Let's say that.
Yeah. Are MJJ and Little a package deal? I don't think they're a package deal, but I think Marvin would follow I think if Earl does end up at Alabama, Marvin's going to go there with him.
Bo Nix?
I can see him split. I expect him to split, actually.
I don't. Bo Nix. Bo Nix is somebody I would be interested in because I think he can be depth. I think he would not be afraid of Jordan Travis, and I don't think Jordan Travis would be afraid of him. I think it would be.
I think he'd run a similar offense with the two of them too.
Yep, which is also very beneficial.
Do I want to bet the house on Bo Nix winning us any more games than anybody else? No, but would he be a good fit on this roster with Jordan Travis? Probably.
Whoever QB2 is on the team is going to see snaps, and they're going to see legit meaningful snaps because Travis is going to get dinged up.
All right, we're going to end this. This is going to be our last question for the night. We're going to get out of here.
Okay.
We're going to end this on an offensive line question. It is a
a
doozy.
Oh.
Anything on Zane Herring? Oh shit!
Anything on any recruited offensive lineman in the past 5 years?
I think he was hurt. He was hurt, wasn't he?
He was hurt. He was hurt as a freshman. I think they like Zane Herring. I'm not sure that they're going to bank on him being a whole lot. I think they're looking to recruit over Zane Herring, but that doesn't mean they're trying to get rid of him or anything like that. I think he's in the plans, but if they can, they're going to try to recruit over him.
There's going to be a lot of attention shown to the interior of this offensive line in the
Cade
transfer
Lyles,
JUCO ranks. Be cool if he could. It'd be cool if he could. I don't know if he might end up be like your Brady Scott like 2.0, right? Like the dude you count on at a pinch when people go down. But I don't know. We'll see. You could prove me wrong. You could prove.
All right,
there's a lot of guys that could prove us wrong. But
we got to go. But we'll be back here at 7 a.m. Brian Kelly style to let you guys know that we love you and we're leaving. Did you see that, Trey?
No.
Did you see the message? Oh shit! Wait till you get off here and see this. Yeah, Kelly sent out a message that at 7 a.m. he's going to meet with the team. He's sorry that everybody found out through social media, but he's flying back up to Notre Dame, to South Bend to meet with the team at 7 a.m.
My God, pure class. Just what bad could you say about Brian Kelly?
What a swell guy.
My God, what a piece of just absolute shit. However, we're not, and neither are you. I hope I didn't look at the chat. Adam was our chat master. I felt like the mood was gregarious. I hope people were happy. This is my first time on the live stream. I hope I didn't ruin y'all's mojo too much. What do you guys think? I thought it went pretty good.
Thought it was great.
I thought it was great. Thanks everybody for showing up.
Absolutely.
Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this conversation. We typically do way more X's and O's stuff, really dive into film and chalkboard stuff. So if this is your first time with us, this was just a fun conversation. But check out our other stuff if you want to learn a little bit more about the nuts and bolts of the football process.
Yeah, give us some feedback. What did you think? What did you think about this? If you like this, we can maybe try it again sometime.
That's right. Until then, nuts and bolts. For Adam's nuts, for Kevin's bolts. I am Trey Roll, and this was another episode of Fun Live Stream Chat Edition of the Triple Option. We love you guys. Tell your friends about us.